Hello again, everybody. My name is Rick with Let'sLevelUp.net, and today I am very excited for this game review. This is a game, it's not a new game by any stretch of the word. It's not terribly old either. It was released in 2012, and it was the Golden Geek winner. I'll give you a couple seconds to guess it. No, it's not Mousetrap. Nice try. This is Takanoko. And this is introduced to us by Antoine Bauza. It was designed by him. Artwork by Nicholas Fructus. This is an amazing game. This in itself, I would call this a perfect game, which I don't think I've given any other games that type of accreditation before. And it's perfect for a certain group of players, and myself being within that group. It is in its simplest form a three-layered set collection game, right? I have three different pieces that I could score objectives on. It is a very Euro-style game with a very Eastern-style theme, which I like. So essentially, the Emperor of China gives the Emperor of Japan a panda as a sign of their truce after the war ends. And the Emperor of Japan has hired us, the royal gardeners, to build a garden for this panda to thrive in, and to make sure that our worker, the gardener here in the game, has enough to do to keep the grounds growing of plenty rich bamboo. It's just a game for 8-year-olds and higher. Again, I played with my 5-year-old son, and he really enjoys it. He doesn't necessarily know all the ins and outs of the games, but he still plays it and loves it, which is awesome. It's for 2 to 4 players and takes roughly 45 minutes to play. There are 3 different colors of bamboo in this game, which they grow from matching colored tiles. There are yellow, green, and pink bamboo shoots. Let me show you the back of the box really quick, because again, everything about this game I really enjoy, and you get a very good idea of what this game is like and the theme of it just by looking at the box. Let me show you the front again. The panda here is going to be one of the big players in this game. And the panda's ability is to eat a section of bamboo. Now, the different colored bamboo sections can grow 4 high on a particular tile, and the bamboo can go and eat one of those sections off each time they move to that. Again, back to the 3 objectives. We can score our objective cards by completing a certain value. The panda cards have him eat certain colored... the panda card can have... And again, this all leads back to those 3 different objectives I was talking about. There's the panda card, which if we eat certain colored bamboo, we can turn in an objective card with the panda symbol on it. It'll have either 2 of one color, 1 of each color, 3 of a certain color, and there'll be a certain score we'll get on that card once we complete it. There's also the gardener card. With the gardener card, it actually allows us to utilize the gardener figure and grow bamboo to a certain level or a certain formation throughout the board. The 3rd type of card is the Emperor's Plot cards, and that basically rewards us for growing the garden in a certain layout. And whether the tiles are irrigated or not, we'll get into whenever we actually hit this on the table. And you know what? I'm getting really excited. Let's just hit it right now. Follow us after that for our afterthoughts. So one thing I want to point out about Takanoko right away that I just absolutely love, you can have the best game in the world, but if you don't give us a box or a container to keep everything safe, it really means nothing, because things are going to get damaged, especially if you have kids or small gamers. So just a million bonus points here. We'll get to the rule booklet here in a second and the player cards, but the storage that's included within Takanoko is just amazing. We have different compartments here for each type of bamboo section, yellow, pink, and green. We also have the different enhancement tokens, the weather dye, irrigation section, the different player tokens here, our little panda and gardener, a spot for the cards, and a spot for the plot tiles. This is just an amazing way to store and compartmentalize every part of the game. Also, the game has just a wonderfully detailed, and the game itself is very easy to play, and the manual is kind of written that way, which is very nice. Very colorful, very easy to walk yourself and teach yourself how to play Takanoko. Nice big player reference cards here. Essentially, we're going to have two different actions that we're going to be able to spend, and we have the action tokens in the box to kind of show us where everything goes. But this allows us to kind of give us a spot to put our specific pieces for our character. It gives you a nice little graph of what happens whenever you roll the weather die. It gives you a spot to track your two actions, a spot to put the different bamboo stalks that the panda has eaten on your turn, irrigation, and then enhancements or advancements on certain tiles you have can go here. So let's set up a game of Takanoko really quick and show you kind of how the game works. I'm just going to do it with one player now as a quick example. So when we set up for Takanoko, the thing that we're going to want to pull out are the weather die, the two player figures, the pond central here, our player card, and two matching tokens for our actions. We're also going to have 3 different decks here, which I'm just going to kind of separate. You're going to want to shuffle these. I'm just going to put them down here for now. And these are our objective decks, and there's one for each type of objective that I've already talked about. So we have our plot objectives, or our emperor objectives here to grow the garden in a certain way. We get points if we can establish that. We have our gardener objectives, which allow us to get points if we grow certain amounts of bamboo. And then we have a panda-based objective, which allows us to get points if we eat certain types of bamboo. So all in all, very easy to set this game up. The last thing that we're going to need is the access to the tiles here. I'm going to put these 2 back. So we have a bunch of different tiles. You're going to want to give these a good, just quick shuffle. And then put this in a location where all the players are going to have access to. Something like right there is fine. Okay, at the beginning of the game, every player is going to get one of each type of objective. And then I'm just going to put the rest of these kind of out of the way up here. Okay, so our objective cards here, we've got our pond objective, or rather our emperor-based objective, our plot objective. And this wants us to grow 4 irrigated tiles that are 2 pink and 2 green in this order. And this is going to be worth 4 points. This gardener-based objective here is going to want us to build, or rather grow, 2 separate sections of 3 bamboo. And this is worth 6 points. And then finally, our panda-based objective is going to eat 2 different sections of pink bamboo, and that's worth 5 points. So really great card right here. You want these kind of easy cards that are worth a lot of money. Now, pinks are kind of the rare type of plot within the game, so it's a little bit harder to get them out there, and we are pretty pink heavy here in our opening hand, so that's going to be interesting. Now, if we take a closer look at one of the player cards, we can see some of the different actions. So the first thing that we're going to do on our turn is going to be to roll the wooden weather die. And depending on what result we get here, we can do certain special things. The sun result allows us to take a separate action, or another action, giving us a total of 3 actions on our turn. The rain result allows us to grow 1 section of bamboo on a tile. The wind result allows us to may take the same action twice. Now, these actions here are what we can take by spending our different action tokens, and they have to be unique. We can't spend the same one twice unless we have the wind. So, for instance, we couldn't move the panda twice in one turn unless we had wind. The lightning attack, or the storm icon here, actually is going to scare the panda, and you can actually move the panda to any zone where you want, and he's going to eat a section of bamboo when he gets there. The cloud allows us to pick up 1 advancement. Now, these advancements do certain things. There's a watershed advancement, which gives the tile, acts like it's been irrigated. There is a fertile advancement here that allows you to grow 2 sections of bamboo whenever you grow. And then there is finally a bamboo or panda enclosure, which prevents the panda from going to that specific plot. The question mark here is a wild card, so you can pick whichever one of these you want. And on our turn, we have 5 different actions available to us. We can draw a plot card. We can draw a section of irrigation here and add it here. We can move the gardener, we can move the panda, or we can pick up another objective if we want. And again, we have different sections: store our bamboo, store our irrigation channels, and store our advancements for technologies there. Okay, so this first turn is going to be pretty simple. We're going to take our die, we're going to roll it, we get the wild card. And with this, I'm actually going to choose wind, and I'm going to use the same action twice. And both of those actions are going to be plot actions. So whenever we do a plot action, we're actually going to take the top 3 tiles off of the plot deck. We're going to reveal them, and then we're going to pick one and then put the other 2 back. So I'm going to pick one of these pink actions here. Now, there are rules for putting a tile down in play. The tile we put into play has to connect to one section of the pond or 2 sections of any other tile. So for instance, if I had another, I do have another action here. If I wanted to put this one into play, I couldn't put it right there. But if I had this already established, I could put one right here because it's connecting to 2 other sections. Now, one of the things I'm trying to keep in mind here is my plot card. Now, my plot card says if I grow it like this, then I'm going to be able to get 4 points here. So keep that in mind as we take a couple just kind of bogus turns here without any sort of opponent. Now, once a section of land comes into play, if it is irrigated, we're actually going to grow 1 bamboo section on that. So we're going to take one of these pink bottoms and just kind of put it there. Now, we took our second action, and that was going to be to plot again. And we've got a couple yellows and another pink. So this pink is interesting. We don't really need it right here in this current configuration, except for the fact that we're going to want to make sure that our panda is nice and hungry. So what we may do is actually take this and put it on the other side here. And again, since it has been irrigated, we're going to put a section of bamboo. And that was our first turn. Now, a common first turn for people is going to be to plot and get a section of the garden out, and then also do an irrigation. Generally, during their first couple turns, or at least the first turn, it's not 100% wise to move things unless you know you want something there. So let's say our opponent is going to take their turn. They take an irrigation channel, and they're going to plot as well. And oh my goodness, look at all these. You know what? I guess we did not shuffle these right last time. But they're going to get another pink, and they're going to decide to put it right here. And it's actually going to grow because it is irrigated as well. Now, interesting thing about this has a panda-based enclosure enchantment on here, or rather advancement on here, which means that the panda cannot move into this zone to eat that. Now, the rules for moving the gardener and the panda are both the same. They have to move in a straight line. So if they move this direction, they're going to move this direction how many spaces they want until they get to the square or hexagon that they'd like. They'll stop. They'll do whatever their action is, eat or grow, depending on the unit that you're moving. And then that's it. The gardener, the same thing, will move in a straight line. You can't move here and then up here. You can just move to the side of whichever way you're going. So keep that in mind as you're moving things. So back to our turn. We get the sun. We can take a third action here. So the first thing we're going to do is going to take an action to pull out 1 irrigation channel, because we're going to want to make sure our stuff stays irrigated later in the future. We're also going to take an action to move the panda and to take a plot card. So we're going to resolve these in any order that we want. So the first thing that we're going to do is take a plot. I'm just going to put it right there. That's going to grow there. And then we're going to move the panda over there and eat a section of that bamboo. So now we've already eaten one of our 2 required pink sections to be able to score points. Now our opponent's going to take a turn. They also get another section. Let's say they're going to do another plot. There we go. Here's the green. They're going to put a green right here. They're going to take another irrigation channel. and they are going to move the panda themselves, and they're going to pick up this yellow one. All right, back to our turn. Roll the die. Okay, we get the rain. We can put a section of bamboo in any section that we'd like. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and put it right here where the panda can't get to it. So we're starting to grow up that section. Now, bamboo sections can be up to 4 sections high. So that's something to be considered of. Next up, we are going to get another plot, and we're going to move the panda one more time. Actually, you know what? We're going to move the gardener instead. So first things first, we're going to get our section here. And you know what? We're going to get this advancement here with the green. And I'm sorry, I didn't grow these if I was supposed to. These would have both had sections on them. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move the gardener. I'm going to move the gardener right here. Now, since I moved the gardener there, it's going to grow a section of bamboo here, making this 3 tall. And a section of bamboo on each adjacent section that is irrigated and matches the color of this tile. So this is going to get another section of bamboo. Now our opponent's turn, they're going to roll the die. They get 3 actions. I'm going to say they're going to move the gardener here. And I'm doing this just to kind of give you an example that what your opponents do on their turn, they're going to get another irrigation. Oops. Got bamboo down. I'm just going to lay it down like that. They're going to get another thing of irrigation and then maybe another tile. And they'll put a tile here. Now this is not going to grow because this is not currently irrigated. And then that's their turn. And you know what? They may spend one of their irrigation things to go ahead and start to bring up a channel that way. So in order for it to become irrigated, a tile has to be connected to either the pond or have a section, or one of its walls have a section of irrigation channel on it, or a section of water on it, or a watershed advancement. Now our turn, we get the wild card, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to move the panda. We're going to go ahead and move the panda twice, and this would probably be a bad play, but I'm going to kind of wrap things up here. So we're going to just choose to move the panda twice, and we're going to move him here and then here, and he's going to eat one of these. Or before we do that, actually, we're going to resolve our gardener card. So our gardener card is going to give us 6 points. We're going to complete this objective because we have 2 sections of bamboo with at least 3 tall in them. So that's going to be completed. And then we're going to move our panda over here, and he's going to eat another pink, which is going to allow us to resolve our 2 pink panda card. And then we're going to just eat that up. So these go back into the box. And then you keep going until somebody has accomplished their objectives, or a number of objectives equal to the game. So for 2 players, I believe it's 9 objectives. And then as the game scales up to 4 players, things will change, and the number of those objectives will go down. Well, that's it for Takanoko. This game is awesome. This game is a lot of fun. I actually first saw this game by watching Geek and Sundry's Tabletop, and I thought, man, what a fun-looking game. It's Euro enough for me. I'm not a huge fan of Euro-style games. I really, really like playing them, but there are other games I'd rather play, a bit more competitive, a bit meaner, I think, in spirit than your normal Euro-style games. However, Takenoko is one of those games that I just absolutely fell in love with. The theme is absolutely perfect. The artwork is beyond perfect, if that's such a thing. And it's just one of those things that just works so well together. Designing the board from the ground up provides an experience that's very unique each time we play it. The different panda and the gardener mechanics themselves are very simple, so easy to learn, so easy to teach other players. It provides a very colorful, imaginative game that is very rewarding as you play it. I really, really enjoy Takenoko, and I would say that this is a must-have for everybody, because I think if you if you've played Takanoko and you don't like it, I need to see a comment. Let me know why you don't like it, because I haven't ever talked to anybody who's felt that this isn't anything but awesome. It's just a great game, and I think it's the 2002 Golden Geek winner for a reason. And the people at Board Game Geek don't mess around at the end of the day when it comes to rating games. So this is a perfect game from us. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Let us know in our comments what games you'd like to see us review next time. And most importantly, game on.